morning. Where I am standing right now is Joseph Priestley's house in Northumberland, Pennsylvania. Imagine it's 1794 and you came across in England looking for a place to establish. Well, Joseph Priestley was born in 1733 from England, came over 1794, was here for 10 years until 1804, and he passed away. He was a Unitarian minister, a teacher, an author, natural philosopher, and discoverer of oxygen, supervised the construction of this house and the laboratory during that time frame. He lived and worked here until his death. His library, which is in this building, consisted of 1,600 volumes, and his chemical laboratory, where he first isolated carbon monoxide, were probably the best in the country at that time. As suggested by Edgar Smith in 1920, the Joseph Priestley House has become a mecca for all that would look back to the beginning of chemical research in America. So please, follow me as I walk you through the house. Joseph Priestley, the discoverer of oxygen, was probably the most famous man to make a new home in America up until that time. When they first arrived to Northumberland in 1794, Joseph and Mary Priestley lived with their son Joseph Jr. while they decided where to establish their residence. And in 1797, the laboratory became the first wing of the house to be completed. While her husband studied, wrote books and sermons, and rambled in the woods in search of botanical samples, Mary Priestley set about planning and designing their new home. With the 18th century landscape, with sweeping vistas of river and mountains, nowhere in England or in most of the settled Americas could this family moderate means have afforded to live amid such desirable scenery. After Priestley's death, family members continued to live in the house until 1811, when Joseph Priestley Jr. and his wife Elizabeth Ryland decided to move back to England and sell the house.
PA to reside in 1794. What is the reason why they chose this area when they had multiple opportunities to live in Philadelphia or New York? What is the reason they chose Northumberland, Pennsylvania?
First, you need to understand why they had to leave England. And they were basically thrown out of England because of their political beliefs and religious beliefs. So the Birmingham riots came, and the mob really destroyed the Priestley home. So they really didn't have too much choice in terms of looking someplace else to live. They chose to come basically to Northumberland because they had two sons that had come here about a year prior to the riots in Birmingham. And actually the two sons left England because of the pressure on the family. They couldn't find jobs in England. Mm-hmm. So they came here and they surveyed and land speculated. So that's why Joseph and Mary looked to this area to come. Yes, there was interest in Philadelphia, even up in Boston and Virginia, because of Priestley was well known. He was known by Jefferson and Adams, and of course had a great relationship with Franklin. But in the end, they decided that this would be the best place for them to live.
Was he truly the discovery of oxygen?
Well, there were several people at the time that were doing experiments on air and looking for different things. Priestley is given credit for the discovery of oxygen because he published first. There was a gentleman from Sweden who I think his name was Scheele, who had really done an experiment before Priestley and did write it down, and supposedly he sent it to Lavoisier. Lavoisier claimed he never got it. Some people think his wife got the letter and never turned it in. So his work was published, I think, even 2 years after Priestley's. So that's why he is given the actual credit for the discovery. Now, Lavoisier himself named it oxygen. Priestley called it dephlogisticated air, and because that was the theory of the time, phlogisticism. So.
Awesome. So thank you very much, Murray, for spending your time here with us today, and I can't wait to keep promoting this wonderful establishment, and hopefully we'll see you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and from my references, I hope you learned something today. Thank you for being with us and exploring Joseph Priestley and who he is and where he came from and what he had to offer this country. Again, thank you and have a great day.